Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Alexandru, and in this video we're gonna see how good the Sony A7sIII is on low light. So let's find out. So before starting things off, I really want to tell you a little bit of what we're gonna do. So basically I'm gonna shoot everything in 4K 60 FPS at its highest bitrate compression, because most of the time I'm shooting slow motion because I really want to have a lot of room to play in post-production. And that's why I want to test this camera as if it was my own, just to see exactly how I would like it or not. And I'm really curious to see how 4K 60 FPS looks in low light. And therefore, let's find out how good is this so-called low light king in low light. So we got to our next location for tonight, and this location is a little bit more darker than the other one. And I'm really curious to see how the camera will perform in these conditions. And then we're gonna go home and test the highest ISO performance, meaning I'm gonna place a subject in front of my camera, and then I'm gonna increase the ISO to the max. After watching the footage we shot, I have to be honest, I'm not so happy with what we did. But I think it was enough in order to get a sense of what this camera can do in low light. We did not shoot in S-Log3 because at our first test, S-Log3 seemed a little bit too noisy past 2000 ISO, and since we were shooting in a very dark condition, higher ISO levels were required. But we did notice that at ISO 12,800, the image seems to clean up, just as if the camera would have a dual base ISO. And the weird thing is that Sony does not claim that this camera has a dual base ISO. And if we were to know this before shooting, things would have been totally different and we would have gotten better results. Now we're gonna do a totally unscientific test where I'm going to crank the ISO from the low end settings to the max, and we're gonna start with the normal picture profile mode, and then we're gonna do the same in S-Log3. So looking back at the ISO test, I can really see where this camera shines. And from what I see in past 12,800 ISO, this camera is way better in S-Log3 than from 400 to, let's say, 12,800. So if you're gonna shoot at night, I will definitely stick only to 12,800 ISO if you're shooting in S-Log3. But as you can see, in the normal picture profile mode, the results are a little bit different. So for example, if you go from ISO 400 to ISO 12,800, there isn't such a big difference in noise like you see in S-Log3. So this camera needs a lot of practice to get it right, and I would definitely love to have this camera more so I can test it even more and have more testing and more results. But so far I can see exactly why this camera is called the so-called Lowlight King, because you can go really high in ISO values with this camera and still have a really nice, beautiful image. I also shot a few tests with the Series 35 1.8 squeeze anamorphic lens, which is a natively super 35mm lens, but I shot in full frame and the results are really nice and the vignette is not that bad. So I really like this combo. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe, and until next time, please be safe and have some fun shooting. Peace.